you guys, it's Monica and welcome back. And today we are setting up another sublimation printer. So I went to go use my sublimation printer and the first print had came out like this. I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. And I Googled online that something must be clogged. I'm like, let me print it again. And sure enough, it printed without all the black. And so I went and I bought a whole unclogging kit and I had to open the thing, pull out the lines. I did all these other things. You can see that when I printed it, the black and the yellow are missing from the line. So I knew it had to be something with the lines like they were clogged. And so, like I said, I bought a kit. I spent 2 hours tinkering with the thing. You can see it here on the floor, dead. Not coming back. I have like a little mat that I can roll my chair on in the room. You can see I had gotten stains on it. So I got sick of fooling with it, especially once I got done and then it told me the scanner was broken. I said, fuck it. I am just going to go buy a whole nother one. And so that is what I did. I'm very blessed and very thankful that I'm able to just go drop another $200 on a printer when I get sick of trying to tinker with something. So I don't take that for granted. But that printer had pissed me off. I said, I didn't order the kit from Amazon. I didn't sat here. My thumb is raw from having to stick it in there to pop the thing open, because I think once Epson found out people were using these for sublimation, they turned around and made it harder to get into the lines and everything, because if you look at the older versions, the lid pops right open and you can access those lines with ease. But like, I really think they want you to send it to them and just for them to tell you, oh, you put sublimation ink in it, so you've voided the warranty. Anyways, I'm done complaining. So I'm using Hippo sublimation ink. That is the only ink I've ever used. Previously, when I did this video, it was a sponsorship, and so this one is with my own dollars. And so I had bought the kind where you have to use one of these little needles, and it came with them, so that wasn't like a big deal. But I also had never done these before, so I also did not know what I was doing. And so it's just a little cheaper than buying the autofill bottles. But spoiler alert, I will forever, now and always, be buying the autofill bottles, because it literally took me 40 minutes to fill these up using this syringe method. It just takes too long, whereas it would have took me 4 minutes with the autofill bottles. And so essentially what you do, you just stick it in there. And so I just like to poke it where there's just a hole big enough for the needle to fit into. And then you're going to just take it. And it doesn't matter what side you stick it on. And this is for the Epson specifically. I can't speak for other printer models, how they may work. And then you just push it down in there. It's not complicated. Like I said, it's just time consuming because you can only do it one syringe at a time. And that, I thought I would be cool with that, but Lord knows I wasn't. Like you see, there's barely any in there. And you have to fill it to the top. And so it's definitely one of the things that, like, the first time you do it, it's the worst. But of course, you could just keep topping it off, but still, I don't want to do that. And then you can see, like, as you start pulling more out, you got to tilt the bottle more and more to the side to get more out. And so it just starts taking too long. Baby, I'm not built for that. I was on my feet. I was tired. I did this after a work day. I did not have the energy. So, yeah. But it's definitely a little more cost economical. But again, when you got to start poking the holes and tilting it to the side, like ink was leaking out on the floor. Like you see, y'all, I got the bottle completely horizontal in order to get the ink out. And so that's when you start risking like it potentially leaking. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting over a sinus infection, so I've just been struggling. Can y'all believe I lost my complete sense of smell since I've had this sinus infection? It's slowly coming back, but like scared the crap out of me. Like, I was riding in a car with my sister, and she was like, oh my goodness, your food smells good. And I was like, I don't smell anything. And that's when it hit me that I could not smell anything. But, you know, thank God for antibiotics. Anyways, so after a day later, I got it all filled up. And next, I'm going to turn it on. And honestly, y'all, like I showed y'all in the video, I was talking like I always am. But I am following my own video in order to make this video. And so that's why I showed you guys my desktop that's on my desk across the room, because my instructions was A1. Okay, baby, I'm going to get you there. So you go ahead and turn it on, and it gives you these instructions. The instructions being going to these instructions. So definitely keep these, because even though you're not using the ink that comes with it, oh yeah, that is rule number 1. Do not use that ink that comes with it. That has nothing to do with you. Throw it away. Give it to somebody who uses an Ecotank. You don't need it no more. And you're going to follow these instructions. The first one is going to be the longest one, and this is when you're going to charge the lines. And so pretty much it's pulling, and now that I've taken the printer apart, that was just how we got here, I kind of know where the ink and everything goes and how it flows, so it's really cool because like they have like these cartridges that they flow into in the back of the printer, and that actually pulls from that ink to print your print. So it's really cool now that I know that. It's actually not coming from the front. The front is literally just storage, and like the parts that's doing the work is like in the underbody. So it's really cool. So once that's done, you're going to want to use some paper. I have Hippo and ASUP paper. I like both of them. I get really good payoff for both of them. People are going to ask what software do I use to print. I use Microsoft Word, period, point blank. Flip the image horizontally. There are people who are going to tell you need to use a certain software or something like that. Don't agree. I'm setting it to the paper settings that are on the instructions. So on the instructions for the paper, that's what I was just pointing out. On the back of the paper, it tells you what to set it to for printing. Always follow what the paper manufacturer says to print to. And so that is what I'm setting it to. I believe it's, for this case, it's premium matte, because I'm using the Hippo paper since I'm using Hippo ink. And so then you want to go ahead and start doing the test that is going to have you run through. So you can see here, this is the first test print. You're going to be looking at the lines and everything. And you can see as compared to the one I showed you on the beginning of the video that the yellow and black were missing. Here we have the yellow and black. Everything's looking good. I'm satisfied. Now, for some reason, I feel like this one is a little louder than my old one, but maybe not. Like the lines was clogged, so I wasn't using it often enough to keep the lines flowing. So maybe my other one was kind of loud, but this one seems a little louder than the other one. And this is the exact same model. So I don't know. Anyways, I'll leave a link to it below. And so next is going to ask you, because it's just aligning the printer heads. It's just going to ask you to print all these pages. And you can print these on printer paper. You don't have to use sublimation paper for this part. So definitely save your sublimation paper if you want to. And so like this one is like, oh, which box got a line in it? And you're supposed to go in there and hit. That part is a little confusing. And I did way less tests this time than I did last time. But I think it was my own fault because I was just clicking and ready to get through it, because at this point in time, I feel like I'm a printer technician, and that if I did something wrong, I know how to fix it, which is completely false. But, you know, I believe in myself. So finally got the print. I was trying to print 4 days before this to print, and so I am just using, I don't know what brand Sublimation something is. Probably just something I ordered from China, and sublimation tape. And so I'm going to be doing a full-blown video because I have this basketball season again, as y'all know. Y'all probably don't know because the whole time for basketball season last year, I was on Patreon. So y'all don't know that my husband coaches high school girls basketball and that I'm always roped into making team cups. And so, yeah, so I'm going to do a whole nother video. It's kind of like a starting your sublimation business in 2024. This one's just for pure entertainment and catch up with you guys because y'all know I be on and off. I feel like I've just been traveling so much, and I've seen the airport way more than I want to. And people like, I tell people these things, and they're like, oh my goodness, that's so amazing that you get to travel. And I don't think y'all realize I'm one of those people that I be ready to get home. I like going places. I like doing things. I like, seeing my family and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I be ready to get home. Like, I be wanting to sit on my couch, sleep in my bed, drink my own sweet tea and not have to talk to nobody. I'm an antisocial. So first and foremost, what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the cup. When you're printing sublimation, if you're new to this, adjust your cup before you turn your press on, because if your press is on, you're going to start pressing that cup, and you don't want to do that yet because you don't know if you have the right pressure and everything. So what you just saw me doing was adjusting the pressure and everything to fit the cup prior to actually me beginning pressing it, because that's very important. And you also just saw me open the window. Like, the heat function it lets off this gas that allows all these elements to heat up. And so me personally, I prefer to ventilate my room when I do that. So I do press with the window open. That's why I never press at night. I can press at night, but like, I ain't got no blinds in that room. You see, I got them little thin curtains from Walmart. And so, yeah, anyways, that has nothing to do with any of this. So I like to press it one side, 60 seconds, other side, 30-ish seconds. And then I press the ends, 15 seconds each, just to make sure there's no ghosting. When I do a more detailed video on, like I said, I don't know if it'll be the next video, but one of the next few videos, I'll get into detail on pressing cups and tips and tricks and stuff like that, because I know some people did ask for it, so I want to make sure I get that to you guys. And this is the cup I have been waiting to make, and it says, move over hot girl summer spooky bitch season. I told y'all in the last video I'm very behind on videos, and y'all was going to be seeing Halloween content, so do not judge me. Yes, this video is filmed probably in September, early October, but I'm doing my best. Your girl has been busy. Work has been kicking my ass. Like, It used to be that, like, if I needed to just, like, write down some content, I don't film on the clock. I tell people stealing time is the easiest way to lose your job. But, like, if I just need to, like, write down some concept ideas or anything like that, I could take 5-10 minutes and do that. It's like, I feel like I don't even be having 5 or 10 minutes on my job no more to even just think of content. And so it's like I'm stuck waiting till the end of the day. And even if I do think of something and I don't write it down, it's like I forget it. And so it's just, I've been struggling with time management, essentially. But I'm trying to get better. My goal is to get back on my ish for 2024 because I miss y'all. I fucks with y'all. Y'all is cool people for the most part. And those of you who I'm not cool with, y'all can't even comment no more, so it don't even matter. Okay? And so I'm just making another cup because I really just wanted to show y'all pressing with the press again. And so I made me 2 Christmas cups. It's crazy because I'm still drinking out of both these cups. And I made me 2 Christmas cups, but they're still sitting on my desk because life. Yeah, I can see it's still nice enough that I could open the window. I miss those days. So yeah, and I'll leave a link to anything that I use below if anybody wants to get these things. But like I said, if you're new here and you need more detailed instructions, subscribe and come back because I'll be doing more. And so here again, the press is off and it's cooled down significantly between the 2 cups. And so what I'm doing, and when I got done pressing that first cup, I immediately unplugged it, is adjusting it before I press. And once I'm satisfied with how it's adjusted, then I'll go ahead and press 60 seconds. And then rotating it, and only do it for about 30 seconds when I rotate it. It looks like I did it for the full 60. Glass is a little harder to press than metal, and so I need to go in there. But what I like to do for these clear cups that I can see, I make sure that the image, I can see it and it's bright, because remember when we print sublimation, the image looks very dull, but once we do that, have that chemical reaction between the heat and the ink, and it fuses into that material, it's actually, the color is going to brighten up and really come to life. And so when I look through the glass, I can see that, whether I need to press it anymore or if it was pressed good. And so in this case, you can see it looks nice and bright, and so I was satisfied with how I pressed. And that is what it looks like. Hocus pocus, I need coffee to focus. Both of these, I know this design came from Creative Fabrica, which I will leave a link to. The other design came from Etsy, and I will also leave a link to that. And I just put a white piece of paper in it, so like y'all blind just like me. And so y'all can see it a little better, even though it doesn't look that much different, especially on a frosted one. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.